Hey there friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and today I want to talk about a combination in Remnant 2 The Awakened King DLC that I find very fascinating. Now this combination is not one I've seen a lot of people talking about, so I'm not making a full build video for this interaction. Instead, you can customize this in whatever way you want with different amulets, rings, relics, weapons, all that kind of good stuff. I will show you some of the things that I'm running later on in the video, but for now, let's talk about the Ritualist and the Invader Archetypes. For the Ritualist, I'm running the Death Wish Archetype skill, which says it negates all healing to self, drain 300% health over 20 seconds, increases all damage dealt by 35%, and grants 10% base damage as lifesteal. So this is one where you're going to want to put out a lot of damage in order to be getting as much lifesteal as possible so you don't constantly lose out on your health. If you aren't doing damage at any particular time, you are not going to be getting that lifesteal, and it's going to be continuing to drain your health, and you can't heal. So that's really one of the downsides to this archetype skill. You really have to pay attention to your life, especially if you're in Apocalypse tier difficulty, because you can get one shot if you aren't really focus on what your health is as you're losing your life if you're not doing enough damage. Most of the time you're going to be getting that life steal anyway, so it might not matter as much, but ultimately you're going to want to really pay attention to that unless you are running the Invader with the Reboot Archetype skill. So this says it initiates a data backup of the caster's current health, stamina, relic charges, ammo, and negative status effects, which are stored for 31.5 seconds. While the backup is active, increases movement speed by 15% and damage reduction by 10%. That part is pretty nice. And then reactivating the skill restores all save values from the backup and spawns a decoy which lasts for 3 seconds. So the nice thing about this interaction is it does work in combination. You can pop your reboot skill first and then use Death Wish, and you'll be draining your health over the course of time. And even if you don't do any damage for your lifesteal, as you get lower in health, once you get to a certain point and you feel comfortable, you pop your reboot and you will be back to full health. So it does heal you all the way to max. And that's something that I really like. The other nice thing is if you pop them in conjunction, you will have the damage reduction while you are losing the health as well. So that's just going to beef you up even more, make you a bit tankier while you are in Death Wish, which can be a bit of an issue. Again, you can die very easily in Apocalypse difficulty if you're not paying close enough attention. So I like that interaction. I was surprised it works together because you're not able to heal yourself in any other way with other archetypes or anything like that. So knowing that Reboot works with Death Wish, I thought was very interesting. Now, as far as what I was running with this and what combinations I'm playing around with, I was using the Downward Spiral. This is going to increase your fire rate, and also for every 10% missing health, you gain 3% range damage. So this is really nice to do more damage while you are losing health. Same thing with the Hardened Coil, reduces all incoming damage for each 10% of missing health. And then you have Sapphire Dreamstone, critical hits reduce skill cooldowns, which is nice. Again, you want to have those skills up as often as possible with this. You have Conversion Seal is a good option. For every 10% of health missing, you gain 5% chance to not consume your relic. And the relic is something I'll talk about in a second as well. And then you've got Stone of Expanse, increases range damage by 12%. This is just essentially just extra damage because you're pretty much only going to use your ranged ability or ranged weapons for this. Now, I was also throwing on the Ruined Heart. On use, increases health regeneration by 5. Generate 500 mod power over 10 seconds for both weapons. And then for my weapons, I was using the Crescent Moon just to output as much damage as possible with this, as well as the Enigma. Obviously, this is still the king of the sidearms. So ultimately, this is a combination that I really enjoyed testing out. And it's something that you have to tinker with quite a bit. I will say that you definitely want to pay attention to how your survivability is with this build. If you're playing solo versus co-op, you're going to make some adjustments over the course of time because you want to make sure that you're staying alive in your Apocalypse difficulty challenges. But if for general gameplay, for trying to beef up your damage as much as possible, this is one that I really enjoyed trying out. And it's something that, again, I haven't seen a lot of people talking about, so I wanted to showcase it for you guys. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below, would you use this interaction at all, or is it just not for you? I'm testing every single option when it comes to the Ritualist as far as combinations with other archetypes. So let me know if there's any in the comments down below that you want to see me try out as well, whether it's the Engineer or Summoner, anything like that that you think will work really, really well. Anyway, my name is Jopa. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more Remnant 2 content from me going forward. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.